Hello guys, welcome to my channel Atomic Bubble. And today we are going to discuss the most trending and the second largest by market value cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum. Today we will learn about the basics of Ethereum, what is the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum in this video. So let's get started. As everybody know that the Bitcoin is the king of cryptocurrency, which has been launched by a person called as a Satoshi Nakamoto. The basic purpose of the Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system which has no control of any government or corporation. So Bitcoin uses a blockchain technology for its operation, but Bitcoin uses it for money transfer purpose only. So with time, people started realizing that the underlying technology or the innovation used by the Bitcoin, which is blockchain, could be utilized for many other purposes. So this realization of the potential of the blockchain leads to the Ethereum launch. So in July 2015, a programmer known as Vitalik Buterin and his team included Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskin, Anthony DiLorio, and Joseph Lubin. They launched Ethereum. So Ethereum proposed to utilize the blockchain technology not only for maintaining a decentralized payment network, but also for strong computer code that can be used to power tamper-proof decentralized financial contracts or applications. So, by using blockchain, this developer wanted to come up with something more valuable, which are like our contracts or the applications, which will be useful to decentralize many more real problems. For example, voting or property paper maintenance. So these kind of like centralized operations which we can decentralize if we provide some platform on top of it, we can build an application to cater this kind of services. So the Ethereum applications and the contracts are powered by Ether, the Ethereum network's currency. So the main difference between Ethereum and the Ether is that Ethereum is a blockchain platform and Ether is a cryptocurrency which gets used to fuel that network. So mostly there is a misconception in the community that Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, but it's a platform. Ether is the currency. So let's try to understand the Ethereum. To understand the Ethereum, we will have to go through few concepts which are DIY, smart contract, solidity, DApps, and NFT. So let's go through these concepts one by one. So let's start with DIY. So the long form of DIY is do it yourself. Yes, you're right. You will have to do it yourself. So whatever application or the contracts that you are going to build on Ethereum blockchain, you have to do it yourself. Obviously, you can hire a developer with blockchain expertise who can do it for you. So let's discuss about the smart contracts. So what happens in traditional contracts if person 1 wants to do any kind of contract to with person 2, that has to get managed by a third party. That third party has control over that contract. They have their set of rules and regulations for that type of contracts. So it becomes a centralized contract. So to overcome with that, Ethereum developers come up with the idea of a smart contracts. So the smart contracts are self-executing line of codes with the terms of an agreement between buyer and seller which gets automatically verified and executed via computer network. So the smart contracts permit the trusted transaction and the agreements carried out between anonymous parties without an need of a central authority, legal system, or any enforcement mechanism. Smart contracts get deployed on the blockchain. They are rendered for a transaction, traceable transaction, transparent and irreversible. So in this kind of contracts, it has a lot of if else conditions. So based on that, these contracts get executed by a set of node of computers. So there is no control of a limited set of people or any agency. Everything gets managed by a blockchain network. So let's understand what is Solidity. So basically, Solidity is an object-oriented programming language developed by the Ethereum developers. It used to construct and design the smart contracts which gets executed on Ethereum blockchain platform. So if you want to build any contract or dApps, you have to learn this Solidity language. If you are from the programming background, you will understand what is object-oriented programming languages like Java, C Sharp, which are widely used in the market. So on the similar lines, Solidity is a language. You can learn it and you can build your own smart contracts and deploy it on the Ethereum blockchain. So let's try to understand what are dApps. So the DApps stands for Decentralized Applications. So if we know that in real world there are a lot of applications like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and many others. So all these applications are get controlled or governed by a company or limited set of people. So they have their own policies, agreements, censorships, and all other conditions if you're posting or using their applications. So this led to the concept of decentralized applications, which are also known as DApps. These applications run on a blockchain network of computer instead of relying on a single computer. The DApps are decentralized. They are free from the control or interference of a single authority. That's the beauty of the DApps. Benefits of DApps like it includes the privacy, the lack of censorship, flexibility of development, and there are use cases of dApps like DeFi and NFT. Let's see what are the example of dApps. So we will discuss about DeFi application, which are decentralized finance application. So there is a application known as Pancake Swap, which is basically a trading platform which is decentralized where users can go and trade their cryptocurrency, swap their cryptos. So like in traditional stock exchanges, like there is a control of exchange authority in every country. They have their set of rules and regulations and all other censorships. But in applications like Pancake Swaps, you can directly go and swap your trades with other cryptocurrency. Similarly, if you want to borrow or lend money, you have to go through a authority like banks. But there is a protocol called as the Aave protocol, which provides a peer-to-peer direct connectivity or using blockchain where you can borrow and lend money. So these are the example of dApps in decentralized finance world. Let's try to understand, guys, what is NFT. So NFT are non-fungible token, which are unique cryptographic tokens that exist on blockchain and cannot be replicated. The NFTs you can relate to a artwork, basically the real world items in the artwork or real estate, you can relate it to them. Suppose if there is any artist who has created one artwork, and he published that artwork in terms of image. So there are many people who will copy that image and try to claim it that they are the owner of that particular artwork. But in NFT, every artwork get tokenized, and the owner of that particular artworks get a keys to access that particular NFT because it gets stored on a blockchain and only he can access who owns the key. So by using this kind of mechanism, you can make sure that the person who is claiming to be owner of that particular artwork is the owner of that artwork if he owns the keys. So NFTs are also used for buying, selling, or trading. NFTs can also function to represent the individual identities, property rights, and more. So let's see some examples of the NFTs. Yes, these are the NFTs, and these are the top four NFTs in the current market. They are really costly, even though it doesn't look like that. But yes, trust me, they are very costly. Let's see the details of these NFTs. So these are the top NFT collections that we have: Mutant App, Yacht Club, Board App, and other CryptoPunks and other side NFTs. So if you can see their market cap, you can understand their values in the artist world. Yes, so they are valuable and it gets used all over the world. So I guess you guys have understood what is the difference between the Bitcoin blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain. Bitcoin is generally used for the payment only, but Ethereum blockchain gets used for the payment. Along with that, it gets used to execute smart contracts, build the DApps, which has a use cases like decentralized finances, NFTs, and many more. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like the content of my channel, do like, subscribe, and press the bell notification.